Hello, chat. We'll be getting started here just shortly. Just getting myself situated. We will be fishing over in Hinterlands on Northernar. Although, if you are a Telebim player, I would also encourage you to fish because I believe Yellowtail is still needed for the war effort. And I can at the very least demonstrate how easy it is to catch yellowtail. Hinterlands is a place chock full of them. Let me just... Okay, I gotta turn off that. Turn on this. Oh, that's right. My playlist has my derpy AI theme song.
Like knives, shuns the clash of steel. For a simpler life, no iron mace, for him no blood to spill. Just a love for the ocean, a fisherman's thrill. Heave-ho me hearties, yo-ho, cast a line and let it flow. The man's on the hunt with a baited hook, not the treasure of thunder, tasty cook. Seer stings his nostrils, salty spray. Frog trolls his line, worries melt away. Drops on the hook, a flick of the wrist. Silence reigns supreme, a peaceful fist. Evil who's taught a tug and a fight, a glistening salmon putting up a fright. Muscles bulge and roar with glee. Victory at last for the York of the sea. Ho! The man's on the hunt with a baited hook, not the treasure of plunder, tasty cook. Seer stings his nostrils, salty spray. Frog trolls his line, worries melt away. Drops on the hook, a flick of the wrist. Silence reigns supreme, a peaceful fist. The line was taut, a tug and a fight, a glistening salmon putting up a fright. Muscles bulge and roar with glee. Victory at last for the York of the sea. Ho! Frog man's on the hunt with a baited hook, not the treasure of plunder, tasty cook. No woman for a wrath, no battles to crave, just the rhythm of waves where the ocean winds rave. Fishing fills his soul, similar form of war, a battle with the currents, what the deep seas roar.
That's right. The song just abruptly ends. Oh, AI music, don't ever be good. If anyone wants to join me, I'm over here in Hinterlands. Maybe after we do some fishing, we can go take a little look-see. I don't think I've explored much of Serendane. I think it's a pretty dangerous area. Or we could swim up north and check out the Scarlet Enclave for anyone who hasn't checked it out before. And yes, Sauce Man, I am live today. I had a bit of a change of schedule. My Saturday... Well, I would say I definitely was told I had Saturday plans. I forgot I had Saturday plans. So I had to change. I did an announcement thing on the community post on my channel, but it's not always a sure way of letting everyone know. So, it is what it is. But I definitely wanted to do at least one fish and chat stream this week, because it's been more than a week since I've been able to fish and hang out with you guys. Wanted to say hello, see how everyone's doing. Sauce Man, I'm not going to Nax. This Saturday, part of the reason I'm going to be not out of town. Well, I'll be out of town, but I'm not going to be near my computer a family friend is turning 40 and they're having like a big party. So I will be making appearances there. I apologize to anyone on my Nax team. Last weekend I was gone as well. I had a tabletop role-playing game weekend at a lake house of my friends. We played the Alien tabletop role-playing game, and then we played the Blade Runner, which was good fun. Good fun. My fishing stand-up. I wish I had fishing stand-up. I'm clever, but I don't think I'm funny. True story. I've probably played more on Telebim in the last 2 weeks than I've played on any of my normal characters on Northernar. I've just been working on my not secret but totally does exist Vrograg on Telebim. I've also spent a lot of time essentially yelling at the Telebim people to do their war effort quests. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Thank you. My humor is a load of carp. Telebim's not bad, actually. I think it gets a bad rap. I think because it started with a bunch of what I would classify as very flighty seasonal PvP players. And they like to come and go, and people take the population dip as some sort of sign of Telebim being bad when it's really not. I mean, I've played there. I really get strong early Northernar vibes. Hello, Magroth. Thanks for dropping by. You feel free to cast a line. There's plenty of fish in here. That's okay, Magroth. I do try to rotate kind of what fishing areas I do for fishing chats. I sometimes do like new areas, then I do like low level areas, then low mid, high mid, and then high like top end fishing areas. Yeah, I can see that too, but Kagrin, I definitely agree to a certain extent that certain playstyles need a certain level of player base for certain levels of content to happen. I would say that there's a core there on either side, and the players that I've interacted with have been overall pretty positive. Most of the negativity I've bumped into has been on Discords. So, like, I kind of take that with a grain of salt. But no, they're not going to be doing any kind of transfers to or from Telebim. I'm almost certain. Just because that's what the team has said multiple times. I mean, they've gone back on things they've said before, but what I like about Telebim is that it's a emerging community, and there's a lot of opportunity to start the foundations of a community, make the game sort of make the server its own thing, and the players can make that community what they want it to be, which is an opportunity not frequently granted to players. Usually developers are super imposing and direct what communities get to be. And for some people, that's a turnoff, and for some people, that's like me, like, just I love that concept and that idea. So from my perspective, I'm like, it doesn't get better. Like, you can get in at the ground floor, you can form the relationships and the community that you want without the noise of a bunch of content locusts, the relationships and stuff like it. Because I mean, honestly, WoW's gameplay, not the best. But what is strong about the game is the social interactions. And in a place like Telebim, I feel like things can really flourish there if the player base has a good attitude. They don't have to, of course. They're welcome to be however they want, and however people want to have fun is completely up to them. But yeah. Yes, Megroth. I can assure you. Hold on, I think I even have it ready. Megroth, you're not supposed to fight them. Can you kill it? What level are you? Yeah, you'll be fine. It's just a turtle. You do magic damage. Might want to get a staff on though. Yeah, I have already been shopping around and looking at potential axes. I knew about the axe thing for a while, and I was, we'll say, heavily encouraging the team to be like, there's a couple things that the team has decided behind the scenes that me and other people in the community council were like, should probably tease this stuff or let people know about it, because it'll let players know there's still momentum going on about class changes. So I was very excited that they officially announced rogue axes. It's not even that big of like a gameplay difference, especially in light of the proposed coming changes to racial weapon skills. So like sometimes I play an orc rogue, so axes would help, right? But there's some changes coming to that, so I won't even benefit from it that greatly. But all the same, I like the class fantasy of being able to be a rogue that uses a hatchet, and that's pretty much always been my argument for it. So I was like, come on guys, what's going on? Like, just let us have it. Like, there might need to be some adjustment, I think, specifically with Annihilator, because rogues hit with the axe so quickly. So that might be coming. I don't even know. I might have been told, but I don't honestly remember if the team said they were going to do anything about that, so that would make sense though. Well, Maxim, I did not know about it before Gilneas. I knew about... I knew that the team said they were going to give rogues axes as early as maybe 2 months ago. Do you know how much strain it put on me not to tell anyone? I was in hell. I'm like, please let me tell someone. I want to tell someone. Do you know how many... It was like anytime I was in Nax, I would see the Hatchet of Sundered Bone drop, and I'd be like, it's just gonna go to anyone. Dragonovi, I behaved myself. I didn't leak a single thing. But it did hurt every time I saw the Hatchet of Sundered Bone go to a hunter, or like some off-spec thing for like a warrior. I was like, oh, a rogue could use that. It would be so good. Especially Orc Rogue. Well, it with the current iteration of the game, especially, but... Exactly, Cozy. Like, it always made sense. It was weird that we didn't have it, and, hold on, I can actually get into the weeds here a little bit. I'll actually show some of the stuff I was looking at. So here you see, I just selected, like, what you could call, like, this is just I did item level. These are, like, the highest level one-hand axes, mind you. The ones that I think that are most notable, maybe for rogues. Doom's Edge has 16 agility. This could even be useful for rogue tanking. So something to think about. Hakthal's Legacy does require exile with the Blood Scout Warlord, but does have 10 agility and gives 45 armor. I don't think it's that good, but it's something. Hatchet of Sundered Bone, what I was talking about. This one's one of the highest item level axes in the game. The thing absolutely slaps at doing 119 to 221 damage and 65.4 damage per second. And then it also has an additional 36 attack power and then 1 additional crit. This is as far as, if you're going deep with axes, like this would be like V1 to take. And I also saw this, like there's other ones that have like a high amount of agility. There aren't many swords that have this amount of agility, but I think if you're doing rogue tanking, you'd still want something that has parry, because parry's really valuable. Anyway, that's for rogue tanking, but I wanted to point out there are some nice pickups for rogues and axes. There's not a ton, if I'm being perfectly honest. A lot of these are heavy on strength, are heavy on, like this one has casting speed, useless. Fire resistance could be useful, but I mean, some armor pen's not bad. This one, Annihilator, is gonna maybe need to be changed a little bit just because it reduces enemy armor. And with some like meta builds, people try to get the proc on this as quickly as possible to reduce the armor of raid bosses. Outside of that, though, really, it's not that big of a jump. It's not that big of a leap. It isn't going to be too disruptive. It's just going to suit class fantasy well, which is why I'm so excited. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about rogue axes. Me and many people in the rogue community that have long wanted that are very excited. Sorry if I cut you off, Cozy. You said, by the way, hey, Vrograg. Oh, you're just saying hi. Hello. Oh, everything. Oh, sorry. My chat just jumped. Sorry. Maxim calling out the name. TinyFin hasn't been a GM for like more than a year at this point, I think. That's fine, Lizard Babs. I that's fine if you can't attend. I definitely had a schedule mishap, so I just decided to have a Friday fish and chat. Also, it's alliteration, so that's fun. Yes, I love giving TED Talks. I gave like a real long-winded thing about my thoughts about Telebim and Telebim in general. If you play Telebim, I wrote a lot. And, some people appreciated what I wrote, and then some people ignored it, and then some people were just being doomers. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Maxim, I get you. Really? A riddle? I didn't know that. I don't know if you're joking or not. You drew TinyFin, like the little emblem? I didn't know that. TinyFin was around for a while, but I'm pretty sure TinyFin isn't with the team anymore. TinyFin was also, if I remember correctly, like, this was like the sub or like around 1K population for Northernar times. TinyFin was like the GM who handled race changes. It was like done by hand. It was like a boutique service And then when the population exploded, nobody could keep up with it, and it was hard to get everything uniform, so they stopped doing them. There was a time when I was led to believe they were working on a utility for it, but I haven't heard anything new about it since, so I don't know where that's at. And now with the talk about weapon skill ratios changing, there's already been people going like, oh man, now I have to change races. And actually I can even look at that too. I think I had that on another tab. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So all right, if you read this like verbatim, racial weapon skill bonuses will be nerfed while not entirely removed. So, obviously they're not getting into specifics. So, what I would read from that is that humans will still have some amount of sword and some amount of mace bonus, but not as strong as it once was. This says, linearizing weapon skill versus descent skill to make breakpoints much more clear. This is just... I'm assuming this has to do with just helping newer players understand what it means. Because there's still a lot of newer players that are entering the WoW community. And maybe even coming from like retail spaces and don't understand what it means. So this might be like some enhanced tooltips to help explain it, which could be very useful. And adding +5 skill bonus rewards from various sources. I mean, there you go. That's as much news as we have on that. This, by the way, this throwing weapons will now be repairable rather than needing restocked similar to ammo. This is actually a big deal. This is again for a rogue thing. And I swear the reason these are like rogue affecting isn't because I'm on the class council. I was not the one to like say this needs to be changed, but I'm certainly happy with it because I have stuff like this just sitting in my bank. The Flight Blade throwing axe, which has 200 charges, but I'm like too shy to use it because I don't want to lose it. It has 7 strength and 7 agility, which isn't as good as like my other ranged weapons, right? But you might want these, and having your ranged weapon generally for melee be a stat stick is pretty much what most ranged weapons are. The other reason that's important is there are skills like, let's see if I have it, Deadly Throw. Now, do I personally think Deadly Throw needs a rework? Does it need to be revisited? Yes, absolutely. But you can see here, causes thrown weapon. So this works as a finisher. It causes thrown weapon damage plus additional damage per combo point. So like that's in a PvP sense, if that works as intended, that can be pretty nice. And if I remember correctly as well, was it here? Yeah. Increases the range of throw and deadly throw by 3 yards, so you can get 2 points. And if you talent into this, your deadly throw will act as an interrupt. A ranged interrupt is something very nice for a rogue, but it requires you to have combo points. I digress though. So, rogues are the ones that have had the most, well, like almost anything done with throwing weapons. I don't think any other classes really has much on thrown weapons. Correct me if I'm wrong. So those two changes are kind of a big deal for rogues. Did you know that multi-shot rank 1 apparently worked with thrown weapons? I did not know that. Well, you know, Lizababs, I can't talk about specifics. I can say what I would personally be for and what I would advocate for. And what I do advocate for is if you are going to nerf weapon racials, then you need to revisit the other strong racials for PvE and PvP, to make sure that races remain somewhat balanced in order to not overshift the meta. That being said, the amount of humans that exist simply because of sword and mace skill is probably overrepresented. The amount of troll casters that exist is probably overrepresented for like similar reasons, right? So if your goal, as we saw with what the team wrote, is to not penalize characters for taking suboptimal, right, or like bad choices for race, and then like by the time you get to level 60 just being told, oh well, you're not a human warrior, so I had a chart that shows how big the damage difference is. If you're like exact same gear, exact same everything, and you're a human versus a non-human, if you have a sword, the difference in damage is substantial. Now, the difference between a troll caster or a non-troll caster, I would say, is not as big. The same could be said, I believe, for orcs and non-orc melee. I'm not sure about how big that is, but I know more about casters and trolls and non-trolls. It definitely helps. It's not like it's a bad choice, but I think those racials are less polarizing than weapon skills. And that's partially because of how weapon skill is and how it affects melee. I'm not so what I'm saying about that, what I would personally advocate is that they should be reviewed, and if it looks like they're like, in light of changes they give to other races, if they're still going to be really polarizing because of the other changes, I think they should be revisited. But I would also say in the same breath, they're not as groundbreaking as weapon skills are for melee. Excuse me. I hope that makes sense. Well, yeah, Maxim. Like, part of the difficulty is I definitely think Turtle WoW wants to maintain the vanilla essence as much as they can without making it into like a Project Ascension. If you look at the Vanilla Plus landscape, you would probably say that Turtle WoW is probably on the more conservative end for like how widespread and I wouldn't want to say groundbreaking, but like how meta shaking their changes are. And on the other end, you have stuff like Ascension, even Season of Discovery, that sort of just throw the whole kitchen sink at changes. And I don't think it's controversial to say the more really crazy changes you throw at something, the less it feels like vanilla. So in the background of the Turtle WoW design and like the team, what they're going for is there's like this constant tension of wanting to keep the feel of vanilla without making so many changes that you estrange the game itself from what makes vanilla vanilla. Everyone would agree, there are bad parts of vanilla. And so ultimately what I think the Turtle team is trying to do is essentially mitigate the worst parts of vanilla. And I don't think it's controversial to say that weapon skill is one of the worst parts of vanilla design. Man, I've missed my chances to have little rants. Yeah, Shadowwing says they have the bow skill book. Why not make other books like that for each skill available in the game? I mean, if they want to take that approach, that's fine. But I personally wouldn't want it just to be like a walk up with vendor stuff. Bow weapon skill isn't as big of a deal as it is because there isn't glancing blow penalty. That being said, I think like the book approach is fine, but I would expect there to be like some long quest chain or some kind of attunement or something that really shows that, let's say you're a gnome warrior and you want to get that extra sword skill. Now, like, in my mind, the way that the team, like, if the team designs it the way that I think they will, because I still don't know how they're going to do it, I'm imagining a world where humans would always have an advantage with sword skill because of their race. If it was up to me how I would design it, I would have it such that if you want to get on even pegging with where humans are, then you need to do a lot extra. Like, you need to do something to signify like the extra training, to do the extra martial prowess that something about the human race has with swords, for instance. And if you're a human, it's just easier because you have that skill latently. So there's still a good reason to pick humans ultimately in the end game. But if you are someone who's new, especially someone who's new to WoW, right? You really like gnomes and you love playing your gnome warrior. You get to level 60 and everyone's like, no, sorry, like we would rather have the human tank. We would rather have the human warrior DPS. Like that just doesn't feel good, you know? And if someone really wants to stick it out with their gnome, you know, there should be a way for them to make up some of that difference. And I feel like that still has a lot of the vanilla essence in it without going too far off the reservation. Yes, there are people that like gnomes. I've heard it said. I've met them. As a journalist, I try to remain neutral and not let my personal biases show.
Plus, everyone knows I have a gnome voice.
So, you know, that's in there too. I even did I think I did reveal to you guys like one of the projects I did for the radio team. I like did like reading for the radio team of like a script as a gnome. I'm not secretly a gnome, but I secretly have a gnome voice. Much like how, if anyone's followed along on my Voices of the Void stuff I've been playing, which has been a lot of fun, I'm essentially role-playing it as though I'm actually Vrograg in like another world sent on an investigation. And it's funny because Voices of the Void involves like paranormal stuff, aliens, spooky things. And I remember I was talking about how if there are aliens, I'm like, well, I'm an orc. I don't think I have any grounds to be mean to aliens. I mean, orcs are technically aliens too, so, you know, if anything, I would have more in common with the aliens. Yeah, Ivo, I did talk a little bit about Axe Rogues a little earlier. I think it's mostly nice from a class fantasy point of view. I don't think it's going to change a lot as long as Annihilator and any other axes that have weapon proc stuff like kind of kept an eye on or adjusted if need be. And the reason for that, of course, is hold on, it's right here. Slice and dice. Just melee attack speed by 30%. If you're using a weapon who has a strong ability that happens on hit, you're hitting 30% quicker than every other class that can use a one-hand axe. Even if you have an ability you can spam, like let's say, like I think paladins can do it with their, with some of their seals, and I think hunters could do some stuff. But if you're hitting, hold on, let me see if I can actually even do like a number breakdown here. Hold on. Okay, if we look at Annihilator. Annihilator has a speed. You can see that speed 1.7. That means that that axe would hit once every 1.7 seconds. Now, for those who don't know, the global cooldown is 1.5 seconds. So if you have an ability that lets you get a free melee strike, which I think paladins do have, I correct me if I'm wrong, but even if you don't, but like there's a world where you could, if you have 30% quicker, right, 30% quicker, you're going to be hitting quicker than global cooldown. So there's a good chance you could get the effects of something like Annihilator up quicker than even a paladin could. Or a shaman who might get a flurry, because I think their flurry gives them haste too. But to get a flurry to get the speed bonus for rogues, you don't need to get a crit. You just need to click a button with one combo point. Oh, sorry. Abdulghani is curious about my fishing pole. I'm using the Barkskin Fisher. If you don't know where to get this rod, it is available in Hyjal through a rare spawn elite in the Barkskin Furbolg area. And it drops a fishing rod that gives you plus 30 fishing, which is the best in the game. So if you're serious about your fishing game, go try to get this rod. And oh yeah, so we also had news about jewel crafting. For anyone who maybe missed that did happen. There was a good amount of there was like a little bit of a buying frenzy on the auction house for gems, but I don't think enough is known to make any of that a good investment, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, if you have gems and you think they might be worth more, you can hang on to them, but I wouldn't suggest buying a bunch. Dragonovi, you're not wrong, by the way. But, you know, Dragonovi says that, yeah, like, Vrograg swaps the monthly news due to lack of content. All the news instantly starts popping up. That isn't 100% of the reason. A part of it was I was just getting burnt out from doing it every week. There's always something going on. And there was times when I felt like I was scraping the bottom of the barrel to get news. However, when you get burnt out with something, like, I enjoy making videos, I have a lot of fun with it. It's a good hobby, regardless of whether or not I'm getting attention or not. It's just enjoyable for me. So doing something different allows my creative juices for Turtle Wow News also to get a little bit of a refresher. And the other nice thing is that if you listen to the Turtle Wow radio, I'm still putting out like at least, I want to say somewhere between 12 to 20 minutes of news content, and it's on the radio. And that's usually like top news, market watch. I think I have a community bulletin, and I think I have one other thing too. Oh yeah, the changelog. So I have those 4 sections I've been releasing to the radio as well. I'm not positive about how well the distribution has been on that, but I've long wanted to like help the radio have more recent and like relevant content. So I'm really killing two birds with one stone. I'm getting to change how I do content to keep it fresh for myself, not be burnt out, and also get to try something different with other content. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. But now, like, what I'm looking at is, because I've wanted to do my Turtle Wow News as more of a monthly thing. So we'll have one more week of something else. It's probably going to be another Voices of the Void video. But then the week after, I am planning to do like a Turtle Wow News video. And it's going to cover pretty much everything that happened in May. And a lot happened in May. We had the jewel crafting, rogue axes, like everything we're talking about now, I can put into a news episode. And for people who maybe aren't playing but are curious, it's going to have a lot more for them. And for people that, like myself, don't like reading all the time, it'll be a nice way to convey that information to them. Also, for Market Watch, looking at a month of data generally means a lot more than just looking at a week of market data. So like that's good as well. And I can go back to my radio scripts to like review the stories and stuff that I want to cover most. And I already have some of the script written for them. So really, it's wins all over. I'm feeling good about it, even if like, you know, my Voices of the Void videos don't get the kind of traction they normally would. Like, that's fine. Because this isn't like my living. This is something I do for fun and to celebrate the communities I'm in. Sorry, let me look back at... I did another one of my TED Talks. Let me look back at chat. Chat's been weird, too. Like, I've had to refresh to, like, check what things are being said. Riddle says, invest in large opal. That doesn't sound smart. Yes, Dragonovi, I know you're poking fun, too. Throwable potions with AoE effects when? Ooh. I don't know about that. You know what might be fun, AF? Well, let me show you something. You see this? This here is the rogue talent tree. Now, if you are into PvE or PvP, a lot of stuff you're going to want to take is in this tree right here. Sometimes, especially if you're into PvP, a lot of the stuff you're going to take is in here. I don't know what this tree's for. I mean, like, honestly, it's called assassination, right? Okay. So what's assassination all about? Well, apparently it's Capstone's vigor. So, all right. So it's something about energy. But then you look at what else is here. You have stuff like Seal Fate. Okay, so this is about like maybe like one-tapping someone, right? Okay, maybe. All right, let's look more. Okay, improved kidney shot, maybe. Wait a minute, it has poisons in here? Is poisons about like one-shotting someone real quick? Wait a second, you have relentless strikes? Huh? Expose armor? Improve slice and dice? Like assassination's all over the place. And one thing that I, as a class counselor, have supported is giving assassination a better identity. Combat could be a bunch of things. You have your dashing swordsman in here, you know, you have like your blade master kind of archetype, your weapons specialist. Yeah, that's all in here all day, every day. In fact, this has way more talents. You look at subtlety. Okay, well, this is sort of like more of like leaning into your rogue kit of like trickery, stealth, like subterfuge, that kind of stuff. And it's all here, you know? Okay. Most of the talents play into that. But assassination just, I don't, it needs identity, you know? So, when you're talking about AoE potions, I'm like, you know what would be cool if because rogues have like next to no AoE. I believe the only multi-target effect rogues really have is right here. And it's not a true AoE. I think you can hit 3 targets or something like that. It's not a lot. It's not a true AoE. Assassination, though, has poison. So if you leaned into the poison, maybe you could have some kind of an AoE poison effect. But I don't know if the team would bite on that. I don't know if they're interested. But it's something that I think would be cool and I would support. Sorry, another tangent, but let me try to catch back up on chat. Guy's opinion on Schmokel. I don't know what Schmokel is, alright. Vrograg is full of juices. That is true. I have a lot of blood in me. Blood is considered a juice, especially to vampires. Dragonovi says, I've used to play so much, but I can't keep it in check if I both work on the server and raid weekly. I feel that, Dragonovi. I know what you mean. Jose Pelez, Vrograg with jewel crafting on the way. Do you see socketed weapons and armor like in TBC? I can categorically say that is not on the horizon. I don't think that it's out yet. I did record another Under the Shell podcast, which is like myself, Dan from the radio, and Akalix talking about behind the scenes developer stuff. It's a lot of time it's me asking questions from like the community point of view. And one of the things that we really wanted to make sure is that people understood as much as possible about what jewel crafting will and won't be. And something to keep in mind is that there's nothing in there about prospecting. So people that are holding on to ores thinking they can turn them into gems, there's no indication that's how it's going to work. So doing that might be a bad idea. And socketing doesn't seem to be on the horizon either. So I wouldn't look at that as a way to go. I hope that's helpful. Sorry. Where were we at? AF AF is asking Dragonovi for more daggers. You know, that's interesting, AF. Let's take a look. Because I think this is worth looking into, right? So I'm on the database, right? I can go weapons, and I can take a look at daggers. How many daggers actually exist? I don't think this exists. This is a thing that's in the database, but isn't in the game. We would know if there was a legendary quality dagger. Also, look, the numbers don't make sense on it. So, anyway, let's just organize this by level, right? This isn't in the game, so let's take a look. Now, I'm only scrolling down. Let's make our breakpoint 65. I'm just arbitrarily 65. Generally means it has to be level 60. Okay. That's a good amount. We have 50 results. How much further does this go? So we have 55 level 60 daggers. There might be a few less because I think some of them might be faction specific. So let's just call it 50. We have 50 daggers. Okay. Let's just use that as sort of a baseline. Again, some of these are class specific, faction specific, so, you know, just roughly 50. Let's take a look at one-hand swords. Okay. We're going to have to do the same thing here with the... We're going to ignore these. There is no Warglaives of Azzinoth in the game. I don't believe this is in the game either, but we know Gressel is. So we're going to take like 4 or 5 away. Okay. All right, we're still not... All right, now we're hit 65. Okay. Wow. There's about the same amount of item level 65 swords as there is daggers. There's maybe even more daggers. Interesting. Okay. Now, this is just rough equivalencies, right? I don't have the exact numbers. Let's take a look at one-handed axes. Okay, what? Oh, boy, one-handed axes. We don't even get, like, what is that? Maybe 20? 25 maybe? I don't think they're going to add more daggers. They should be adding more one-handed axes for no selfish, self-interested reason at all. Let's see if it's any different for one-handed maces. It could be. Do a little... How far does 65 get us? Ooh, wow, 65 almost gets... 65 has more. Huh. So I don't think I don't think we need more daggers. That being said, daggers mean a lot to a rogue because some of their abilities are like dagger locked, like you can only use them if you have daggers. So I think that bears mentioning. Yeah. So maybe the dagger situation isn't as dire as we thought, but we should point out that daggers are special in that some abilities can only be used with daggers, so having a good amount of options for them is worthwhile. Something else to note, something that I became aware of, is that there is like a strange dagger-only weapon damage penalty that's applied. I wish I could pull it up. I think it's in the class change council thing, so I can't pull it up. But daggers are unnecessarily nerfed in some ways. Maybe that's for a good thing, maybe that's for a bad thing. I don't know. I'm really not good with numbers. You guys know this, but... Abdul Ghani says, give Prot Paladins a taunt spell. They have a taunt. Am I crazy? Abdul Ghani, they have a taunt. Do I need to... Can someone tell me what the name of the taunt is? Am I crazy? Well, sorry, I see Terrible Puddle who likes coming in, being a negative Nancy. It barely feels vanilla. Well, yeah, like, it is vanilla plus. But my point earlier on was that in and of vanilla plus, I would argue that it is a more conservative vanilla plus. I wasn't trying to say that Turtle is vanilla. Don't put words in my mouth, Terrible. I know how you like doing that and being a drama queen. Yeah, Riddle, it is tough not being able to use swords. The only thing more insulting about not being able to use swords, especially when there's literally a sword called Thunder Fury, which is based around the elements. I mean, granted, I know Sulfurous exists, I know. Is that we don't get ATish either. And we can use staves. That one hurts. Shamans can't use swords, but shamans can't use swords, but it's okay. Paladins can't use maces. Is that true? I thought paladins could use maces. They can't use daggers. Oh, okay, Terrible. Terrible. It's not a plus on all front. It's minus on several. Okay, well then. Maybe vanilla plus servers aren't good for you. Maybe you're not having fun on one and you shouldn't play on one. It's okay. You don't need to be like that meme where you yell at people not to have fun. You can just accept that you're not having fun with something. Also, let's see, how long have I been fishing? So I started like a little bit before 4. So we're going to say like I've been kind of focused fishing. I'm going to say for about 40 minutes. I got 32 raw spotted yellowtail. Telebim, if you need raw spotted yellowtail, it looks like Hinterlands is a pretty good spot. And you might have a rogue friend who can open up these locked chests. Yeah, that's not bad. So, if I extrapolate 40 minutes, I get 32. You're probably looking at like, maybe 50 in an hour. There's other things you can catch in Hinterlands waters. I think Hinterlands is good, and Ashara is good for yellowfin. Nazi, yes. If they're going to make or allow or give shamans the ability to taunt, to tank, they would need a taunt. To be fair, rogues, I mean, if they want rogues to tank, we could also use a taunt. I've definitely thrown out plenty of ideas. I think at this point, the Turtle WoW, like the dev team, like they'll see the stuff I post, and I think they either read them and laugh at them, or they just go, uh-oh, Frogreg's been posting again. Because as much as I post serious ideas, I'll also be like, okay, but what if we could rename Warlock pets? Like, you know, stuff that like is really inobtrusive and just sort of like, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun idea. Because those ideas are also interesting to me, and I think also add to the fun of the game. And then sometimes, you know, hold on, I'm trying to think. Some of my ideas are met. Yes, as long as I don't specify. I can't talk about specifically which ideas, but some of my ideas are embraced and enjoyed. Some of them are, I am told to stop. And that's okay. That's part of what collaboration is. But I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm really hoping, like, at the end of Class Change Council, I'm really hoping there can be a little bit more transparency. And the reason I say that is because I have learned more about all the classes, like all of them. Because there are very experienced people that, because I'm asking stuff in good faith, and I'm genuinely, like, when I'm thinking of, you know, like, I have an idea for something, why isn't this a good idea? There are some really skilled, experienced players who can explain to me exactly why something's a bad idea or why something is a good idea. And because of that, I've learned so much. And I just think some of the things that are written in there would be like an asset for the community to have available to them. Obviously, I'll have to start campaigning for that later on, but genuinely, there are some really interesting things I've learned about the client, class design, some of the hidden things you don't even think about, like that whole dagger thing. I didn't know about that. And it was not even really mentioned even by like the original developers from Blizzard. But yeah. All right, let's see. Renamed my succubus pet to Vrogag? No, I'm just saying. Okay, so let's see. Let's go say hello over here to Magroth, right? Magroth, he's a level 49. Is it a he? Yeah, I think it's a male Forsaken. I think it's hard to tell. I think it's a male. Okay. Look, I mean, Hawknar. I mean, that could be anybody. I mean, what if you didn't like that name? I don't think you should be able to rename them. I think you should be able to re-roll, though. That's okay. I just wanted to point out that, like, you know, that might be fun. Maybe you'd have to do something like you'd have to redo the quest to get the demon to get a re-roll on the name. I like the fact that you don't get to name them because it shows that like they're pre-existing entities from another, dark world. So I'm not like, I don't think we should have full control, just so I can avoid having succubi named after me. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Megroth is saying right, demon names have lore significance. It's kind of important. I agree. But let's say you have like there are some really silly names out there for demons. You could even be role playing that you and the demon you're working with just haven't been working out, and you want a new one. That could definitely be a role playing decision, and allowing players to have that is, I think, a cool thing. See, your imp is named Cupfam? Kufam? I don't know. That's a weird one. What's your succubus name? Oh wait, are you high enough level for succubus? I don't know when warlocks get it. I assume you are. All right, let's see. Cozy Fire says, I don't think warlocks view them as pets. They are poor, enslaved demons, taken away from their twisting nether homeland. Yeah, exactly. AF asks, which spells got the best scaling, Mr. Vrograg? So scaling is actually more a matter of how long the spell takes to cast and if it has any additional effects. There's like a formula that applies to all spells, and if it's an instant spell, it has like a slightly different formula. If it has a dot, it has a certain formula. If it's a cast and a dot, like there's all these formulas. So all spells have like the same scaling, but they can take different amounts of time to cast. That's why I believe a mage's fireball is the only one that has like 1-to-1 scaling, because untalented it's like 3.5 seconds, and the little baby dot it has on it doesn't, I think, add anything. One of the best DPS spells for casting spells, I believe, is actually Lightning Bolt and maybe Wrath, but it's hard to notice it because they have quicker casts. But they actually have the reason they're good is just because they there's, again, like I was saying, there's spells that do effects. So if you do like a Frostbolt, you can slow someone, right? And that's like an additional effect. If you hit someone with a Lightning Bolt, they either take damage or they don't. So because of that, they're called binary spells. And the reason that's important is because if you are a mage casting a Frostbolt at a boss, if it gets any amount of resisted because of spell hit, it gets 100% resisted. However, if you have a binary spell, I believe, if Balake's in chat, he'll probably blow a gasket if I get this wrong, but I believe with binary spells, if you get resisted because of spell hit, some of your damage will still get through. I think it's like 50% flat. But it's hard to know when that happens, or when it's like native spell resistance that every boss has. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Anyway, AF, I don't even know what question you're asking, but Jose Pelez says, make gnomes tameable and Tauren skinnable. You can eat Tauren technically through the AV quest if you're Alliance, and you can eat gnomes through the same AV quest for the Horde. I don't think they're skinnable though. Let's see. Hawaiian Snow says, so Vrograg, I heard that druids are going to get res when the class changes comes out. What do you think about that? I don't know. Probably out of all the class change channels that I look at the least, druid is the most intimidating to look at as someone who hasn't really played a druid. And I can't confirm or deny if that's even true. I am not. Oh, by the way, if anyone's looking for me, I haven't. I'm in Hinterlands. I'm not in Feralis. See, Hinterlands. Yeah. Hawaiian Snow. I mean, I do actually have a background in journalism, so I know you're trying to be slick. I respect the grind, but it's gonna take a little bit more than that to get one on over on old Vrogreg. Druid tank. Sorry, Riddle Lightning says Druid's tank can't res. Pally tanks can't range pull. Shaman's tank can't tank. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I want to. Here's an interesting thought experiment. Now, I genuinely was asking a question, and this was about Shaman. This wasn't about like me saying, "Hey, Shaman should have this." I was genuinely asking this question. I'd be interested to know what chat thinks. So, why do you think that Shaman have a purge ability, which can get rid of magical effects on enemies, but don't have a dispel ability? And this turned into a really interesting conversation. I would be interested to hear what chat thinks about that particular question. So, paladins have the ability to remove magical effects. Priests have the ability to remove magic effects. Stuff like polymorph, for instance. Now, a shaman can purge enemy magical effects, but they can't remove magical effects from allies. Let's see. I'm just reading. Ivo asked a big question here as well. Hunters on the Turtle Discord are being worried that devs may be to focus too much on having melee hunter a thing, while most play hunter for the class fantasy of being a range EPS. Any thoughts? So, again, I don't have any level 60 hunter. I always have a thought about everything pretty much, or at least I can explain to you why I don't have a thought. Let me get some water here. So, first off, let me be clear. The devs will focus on whatever they want to focus on as long as they want to focus on it. I don't think they ever feel it necessary to focus on something for too long. The reason I say that is because they have a lot of work to do. So, if something like the concept of something like a melee hunter might cause other work to not happen, I don't think that's a reality. That being said, the concept of a melee hunter is actually more traditional than you might think. Usually when I talk about ideas, class fantasy, things like that, I draw a lot from what WoW drew from. Not just the lore, because I'm not super good on the lore like other players are. I know a lot about role-playing games. A lot of stuff that is in WoW is taken from games like Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletops. So, hunters are very much clearly designed after a D&D ranger. I don't think that's very controversial to say. They have hunter pets. Rangers had the ability to have pets. They have nature magic. Rangers had nature magic. They were very good in ranged. Rangers, of course, are very good at ranged. They could track. Hunters can track. Like, these are all things that, like, match. Now, I'm not saying that means it's a one-to-one copy, right? There are definitely differences. However, one of the things about the classical archetype of a ranger was that there are many times, even as far as like 1980s Dungeons and Dragons, rangers were in many ways designed off of Aragorn. Not simply like a bow-wielding elf running through the forest. They're also based on Aragorn. Now think about Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. You have a skilled tracker, someone who has very, like, much more subtle magic, right? But it does have some level of nature magic. If you read the books, you would know that he has some magic. Not like Gandalf level, and magic is very subdued in Lord of the Rings. However, you'll know that Aragorn, during his quote-unquote Strider phase, he gets down with melee weapons all the time. He fights with a main hand offhand. If you look at 3.5 D&D, there are all these feats that specifically hunters are good at for two-handed, two-weapon fighting. They were actually better for two-weapon fighting than warriors, than fighters, and rogues in many cases. So the idea of a melee hunter isn't crazy. You also have lore-based reasons for one of the greatest heroes of the Horde, Rexxar, quite famously loves himself some melee. And that's lore. So you have it both established in the supporting sort of inspiration for WoW, as well as lore inspiration. So I don't think it's crazy to think that a hunter in melee is just insane. As the game developed into retail, it definitely became much more of a ranged thing, much in the same way that shamans lost their ability over time to really be tanks, and other classes' identity sort of changed. But we're at a period of WoW where the concept of classes was a bit more broad. So yeah, I think there is reason to say melee hunters can exist. Do I know how to do it? No. Do I know what that would mean? No. Do I know the difference between a melee hunter and a melee weave? Not really. I can't answer those questions. But I would say, strictly from like a lore point of view and like a class fantasy point of view, I'm fine with it. Sorry. That was my TED Talk on that. Let me see if I can anyone actually answer my question. No one answered my question. See? No one knows why shamans can't dispel their allies. But I actually got a good answer about this. And this is something I actually wanted to touch on, because I had asked that question. Why can't shamans remove magical effects? Now, here's something interesting to think about with the healing classes. Every healing class, so paladins, priests, druids, and shamans, have two types of classical debuffs they can remove. I know for shaman, it's poison and diseases. For druids, it's poisons and curses. For priests, it is, I believe, magic and disease. And for paladin, it's magic and magic and poison, I think. Anyway, every one of the healing classes gets two. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I didn't even think about there actually being like an internal balance there. Furthermore, every like healing class has something special they can do within what they can remove. I believe the paladin's ability can remove two different things at the same time. And for shaman, they have the totems that can remove everything in their group once they drop the totem. And also, an interesting thought that I had while having that discussion was, Tremor Totem doesn't remove magic effects, but stuff like sleep and fear, which can be magic effects, it doesn't remove them, but it essentially blocks them. So after further consideration, it made more sense to me. So like, that's what I'm talking about when I like have like a genuine question about how the class design all kind of works out. And I had someone explain to me in a lot of detail about how the class design kind of works together. And because of that, I have a lot more understanding about the classes as a whole. Those are the kind of reasons why, like, I really wish some of the stuff that was said that has been said and has been talked about could be more open. Because I think those resources would be valuable to the community. I mean, whether you're looking at it from a more vanilla perspective or you're looking at it from a design perspective for the future. So, okay. Thank you, Riddle. Yes, Riddle. So shaman get poisons and diseases, but they also get purge and they get tremor totem. And yes, Koiz, I did see that as well. Also, hello, Scythen. Cysthen. I see you say, on Nostalrius, I wrote a guide about hunters being the best Nightfall class because you could bring 2 for trank shot fights and you could still spec True Shot Aura and spam Wing Clip. It was better than Sham Paladin. You know, as I understand it, someone who knows more about hunters would have to, like, agree or disagree with me. But I believe melee weaving was a thing that hunters could do until they made the first class changes. And then it sort of got outpaced and was kind of silly to do. Also, I saw Mana Lisa drop by. And there was another person who walked by too. Sis then? Wait. Oh wait, no, this is not this is not Trigun OST. This is, oh, let me make sure I get the name right. This is Real Fishing Wild Sega Dreamcast full soundtrack. I play this for fishing stream chats. It has some like pretty good relaxed acoustic stuff going on in the background sometimes. Priests, well, okay, so Riddle saying, okay, if we are talking about removing debuffs, priests get fear immunity, magic, diseases, pushback, immunity, bubble, priests get a better fear break. To be fair, they're the most dedicated healing class, though. So, I don't think it's crazy to think they should have the most in their toolkit to remove negative effects. Also, they don't because of class change 1, they have now everyone has a way to deal with fear, but in vanilla only dwarves have the fear ward, which is actually one of those things again that I feel is very polarizing as far as like a racial ability. I'm glad they gave priests the ability to help with fear without needing to be a dwarf. I'm trying to figure out. Scythen. Oh, Scythen. Oh, thank you. At first I thought when you wrote Scythen, who is the correct pronunciation of the name, I kept saying was like Christhen, but there's no R there. Thank you. At first I thought your message was like a message you were trying to tell me. I'm like, what does Scythen mean? Mana Lisa is next to me. You're not an actual succubus. Are you smoking a weed? No. Sorry, I was vaping. I normally hit my mute button for vaping. Oh yeah, Magroth, I didn't catch the name. You must have a succubus, right? And I doubt this... Okay, oh. Did you just kill her? You just insta-kill your own succubus? I can't believe this. And I know one thing that the pet classes would like is to be able to use their pets without them getting raffle stomped. I feel bad for them. As they don't, like, they'll get cleaved and just die, and all their damage goes away, and any buffs they could have goes away too. Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry, so you're your succubus's name is Helrania. I kind of like that name. That's an okay name. It's better than a than an actual mage, than a mage. I mean, a mage is probably a stronger warlock pet, but mages and warlocks have a long rivalry. You should be careful. Yep, that's fine, Magroth, if you got to go to bed. I'm streaming at a time that's very late for EU, so if you're EU, I completely understand. If you're US, I might say, like, are you in your 70s? Because going to bed at 5 p.m. is kind of wild. Oh, sorry, your dog is named Radhoon. I like that name too. I've never played a warlock, but my favorite warlock pet is the Fellhound because it acts like a dog. The red succubus. Adrian Dimitri says, yeah, it's 45 minutes before midnight where you are. It's still early. I work mornings. I struggle around midnight. And now we know you live in Florida. I do not live in Florida. Oh my goodness. I bet you if I lived in Florida, I would be very wild. I don't know what I would do differently or how I would be, but I bet I would be wild. I did put a whole lime in my chili. To be fair, that was because of a strict reading of Murog's instructions. That was not... that was not for any other reason than I'm just dumb. Yes, Ivo, I'm glad you appreciated my diatribe about melee hunters. I think there's reason enough to do it. I just don't know if there is design space or designer time or will. And those things are different. Because I can come up with an idea. That is a great idea. I've even had devs say it's a good idea. And just being like, but we just can't. Like, and that's fine. There are limitations to this bizarre, cryptic client. Magroth, I actually agree with you. Ogres fit more for the Horde as a race than the Forsaken. But I feel like because World of Warcraft is based off of the Warcraft games, and Warcraft 3 having come out, there were 4 factions, if I remember. There was the Alliance, the Horde, the Forsaken, or like the Scourge, and then there's the Night Elves. You could even argue the Night Elves really shouldn't be in the Alliance either. Yeah, I don't know how Trank... I guess it's in the name, right? Tranquilizing shot, it requires you to shoot. Trank and melee would be helpful, so you could do your job as a hunter to do tranks when they're needed. The Night Elves almost joined the Horde. I'm surprised the Night Elves almost joined anything. Their original lore had them being quite xenophobic. And I mean that in more of like the classical sense. Like, they just didn't like anyone who wasn't a night elf. They didn't go out of their way to hate people. But if you showed up in their woods, you best have the blessing of some druid or you're donezo. And there's so much varied lore about trolls that it almost helps in a way that there is only one tribe in the Horde, because many of them have different perspectives on things like cannibalism, shadow, juju, worship, how okay that is. There's a lot of stuff in there. So Maxim, you can't just say the elves. You need to be specific. Because just people like elves. And if you don't say which elves you're talking about, people will get upset. You gotta say, are you talking about night elves, highborn? And they all have their own little elven names. I don't remember. I know there's the Keldarai. I think blood elves are called Sindarai. Someone could tell me what the other ones are. I don't remember. You know, Kalian says the Night Elves respected the martial prowess of the Horde and respected Thrall and his love of nature and the elements. It was the conflict over the resources of Ashenvale that stopped them. That, more than anything, makes the conflict between the Horde and the Night Elves the most, I would say, like, plausible war. Like, the most grounded in reality. Wars that are fought over resources are the most like, yeah, that tracks. Kaldarai, thank you. Oh, which one are the Highborn? Do they have like a special name? I was talking about this in all places. I was talking to Morenia, I think in Telebim General, about how Ranathalas was cancelled. Ranathalas is... Hold on. Right here. We've actually visited there once on a fishing chat. I mean, it was canceled in that it wasn't a quest hub, but it's there, and there's NPCs there. Keldarai is both the High Elves and the Highborn. Okay. They both use the same word despite being different. Right. I have made the mistake of mixing up Highborn and High Elves around people who care about that, and they correct you. Riddle, none of those words appear in the Bible. Last I saw of it, there were warlocks there. In Ashenvale? Probably. Alright. I've been fishing for a little over an hour. If you're interested, there's just a couple of you here, so you don't have to come if you don't want to. But I was going to go on a little walkabout. I wanted to check out... Hold on, let me get my actual damage gear on. I was going to check out an area that I haven't looked at a lot. Sorry, it's important that I get my RP mount out. My Black Wolf. We're going to take a little walkabout. We're going to go up the ramp here, walk alongside the river, and I want to check out Serendane. I can't quite remember what's up there. Oh, by the way, Magroth, if you think that's fun, you should see what the shooting animation looks like when you're an ogre. It's wild. And if anyone wants to join, we'll be walking right from here up into Serendane. Horde, it's not too hard to get here. Probably a little harder for Alliance. I'll invite you. Oh, sorry, I have that weird bug that happens. I'm just going to swim normally. And invite... Magroth, there is a good chance there are going to be very strong, big, max level elites. You might be a liability and could die. I want you to know that going into this. Serendane is a dangerous place for someone who isn't max level. Now that you've been warned, you can follow us. You can follow us at your own risk. Place is giving me nightmares. Really? I think there's a portal there. We'll see. I mean, if someone wants to join, yeah, we do actually, I do have a warlock with me, so if you want to join, just whisper me and I'll get you in. I also realized I don't have any of my raid frames enabled, but apparently I have my target. My target of target is enabled on my party frames, but nothing else. I'm interested about the relationship between the green dragon flights that exist now, like right now, and Mana Lisa, I appreciate the fact that you changed a turtle into a turtle. I think I have a bow on right now. I think so, yeah. Yep. Oh man, more spotted yellowtail. All mine. The reason I'm actually in Hinterlands was because Murog needed some help doing her Hinterland elite quests, so I came over here with Vrograg, who's a big, strong rogue tank, and we took down a bunch of the elites she needed. I think her warlock's like level 53 or 54. Riddle, I can say, by the way, if you polymorph a sheep into a sheep, it will still panic. But anytime you do something that could be considered offensive, it will make critters freak out. I'm sure you do, Magroth. I gotta be honest, I have a cooldown on those. I can't do those for too long. They get very repeaty. I need to save all my grinding energy for later, because for anyone who does play on Telebim, I'm probably when I'm done stream, I'm gonna play over on Telebim for a little bit. Vrograg is level 20 or 21 over there. Leveling's been quicker than I'm comfortable with, so like needing to buy skills is outpacing the amount of gold I can get. And it's nice to have like a first character who establishes yourself on a server, because you don't have bags, you don't have all that other stuff, you know. Oh, some random people. Hello. There's something about RP moving on a mount that just will always attract attention, and I love it. AF says, also, there should be some talent for casters. Melee hit restores mana based on spirit. Well, I can only speak about this from the perspective of a shaman. Shamans just don't get spirit. Everything's all tied up in MP5. I would like that, but I would like it to be more effective. We have a Managoro is joining us as well. Managoro, where are you? Magroth, let's summon Managoro. I think they want to join us. There we go. You can just drink teas. Yeah, teas do help. Mount up, Managoro. Wait, if you're even here? You did get the summon. Oh, there you are. Oh, you're in my guild. Hello. Shaman got those totems for mana regen, even though they suck. They kind of do suck. They're very underwhelming. I mean, I would even say I didn't progress as an elemental shaman. Like, I healed as an elemental, I healed as a resto shaman and picked up enough elemental gear, and when I had enough, then I switched to elemental. Progressing as elemental is very difficult because of so many mana issues. When you get enough good gear that you can last the duration of a fight, you're in a much better position. You know, Kalian, I really liked their approach with the Brilliance Aura Arcane Mages were giving. However, it really wasn't that much. Although there are ways you can like boost it and kind of trick the system. Of course, everyone knows I can't and won't. So let's head more straight north here, guys. Sorry about that. We'll stay off the path. So everyone knows I can't leak stuff, but I saw. I mean, I would call it like an early alpha version of the shaman tree for class changes. I am categorically excited to play a shaman after class changes. I already like shaman, so this isn't that big of a deal, right? But I am excited. I am excited for everyone who plays shaman. And whatever you want to do with shaman, I'm excited for you too. I have also seen some very, I would call it like an early alpha. I think I did put that out. I remember now, but I saw some really interesting stuff for Arcane Mage as well. One that literally said like, "This I want to play Shibiji now. If this works, if you can get this into the game." I can't confirm or deny anything, Shadow. I cannot. You know, AF, that's a good point. I am surprised Slowfall can't be cast on allies, and because you reminded me, I will make sure to post that. It is weird that you can't. You can cast Water Walking on allies and kill them when they jump onto water, but you can't cast Slowfall. It feels bad. Although, could you imagine if anyone's done Nax and you know the fight with Anubercon? I think, yeah, Anubercon. He does a spike ability that throws you up. Could you imagine if your responsibility in that fight was like, if you're a mage, you need to cast Slowfall on anyone who gets spiked up? Magroth, be careful. Oh, wait. I have my one key bind to fishing. That's not good. And Kayleen, I won't spoil anything. I can only say what I feel. In general terms, I'm very excited for Shaman, and I'm very excited for some of the ideas I saw for Arcane Mage. A lot of stuff I just don't know enough about to actually have like a real opinion. Like, you know, someone releases like an early build for like Priest, and I'd be like, yep, there's definitely a lot of healing in there. Like, I just wouldn't know what to say. I haven't seen enough like developer input to know how I feel about rogues yet. But everyone knows that I'll just be a sad panda if there's no tanking. There are so many better ways to implement Flourish, and I would love something that would allow rogues to be... You don't have to be a main tank, just be like an emergency oh no tank, you know? Like, that's fine. Maybe find a way to help on Resuvius. Resuvius is a bad fight. If anyone's done Resuvius, you know what I mean. You can just get heartbeat resists, and then, the raid just wipes, because there's always like a certain % chance to he'll just ignore mind control. It's not fun. Slow fall can't kill allies though. No, it can't, but it can troll the crap out of them. Yes, you guys heard it here first. I've leaked it. In class changes, the next class changes, priests will have the ability to heal. They're allies. I'm sorry if this is just how you're finding out about it now. I've gotten so many like questions or comments. Like, I'll be playing Voices of the Void, and by the way, like, I don't mind when people jump in, like when I'm streaming Voices of the Void, and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And it's about Turtle. I don't mind that, but it's. I was talking to Murog the other day, and I'm like, "Man, I just want to make a video where I just say like completely insane stuff and say it's like a leak, but all of it's untrue." And Murog's like, "Well, you missed your chance. That was for April Fool's Day." And I'm like, "Man, that was on Easter. I was busy." Okay, so AF, yes, it is a communication skill check, but I'm sure you're aware that a heartbeat resist can either wipe a raid or partially wipe, or like just kill a bunch of people that don't need to die. Thank you for letting me know, Johnny One-Ups, by the way. I know. I so badly just wanted to release something being like, yeah, it's with a heavy heart that I have to say that Paladins just got removed. Ancient Guardian. What the heck? I don't remember this mob. Okay, everyone. When we cross this bridge, we're going to be in the danger zone. Magroth, be as smart as you possibly can. We'll keep an RP walk speed. I don't remember what's over here though. Yeah, exactly, AF. The thing that I think is unfair about Resuvius is you have a high level raid fight and you ask a class that has not had to tank a single thing up until that point. They have to know how to tank now. They need to learn how to position. They need to learn how to coordinate with other tanks. Like, they need to learn that, like, on the fly. Whereas every other tank up until that point has been doing that from, like, Wailing Caverns till Nax. But priests just have to suddenly know how to do it. That part is what drives me nuts. I'm like, really? All right, let's take a wide. Let's try to see what we can see here. So there's like a big. Oh, there's a big portal up there. And Rothos. Let's see. Rothos has 82,000 health. I don't think we could kill Rothos. Hold up. If it has 80k health, that's like 5 man. Do we have a healer? No, we don't. I could probably tank him as long as the healer was like on point for when I do get hit, but especially the non-level 63 ones, I could probably handle. But yeah, these ones, and I guarantee you some of them do magic damage, and guess what? Rogues don't do well with magic damage. Alright, tell you what, you guys hang out here. I want to go stealth up to that portal and see what I can see. I will be right back. And this is what, sorry, I have to turn off my RP speed. Was this meant to be in the Emerald Dream portal? Don't worry, guys, I will return. Manalisa, don't die. If you do, I can't help you. I don't think anyone in our group can. Alright. Dream Tracker. That's a cool name. Manalisa, I can sneak by him. Probably. I have Distract. I'll make him look the other way. He won't even know. Yep, see, look. He doesn't even know I'm here. Okay. Let's go to the top. Let's see what's up here. Alright, does it... I don't think the portal works, guys. Aw. Okay, alright. It's been a while since I've been up here. I just wanted to take a look. I'm going to go back down. I have a idea that we could do that will be a lot more Hold on. What is up with that? Does anyone else see that? You guys see that too, right? Are they supposed to do that? Hold on. Look that way. Do Dragonkins normally stack on top of each other in threes? That doesn't seem right. All right, yeah, let's go take a trip to the Scarlet Enclave. That might be a bit more our speed, if I'm being real. Kayleen says we have healers now. We do? I don't see a healer here. Fazia, Managoro, Manalisa. I'm seeing a bunch of players that have MAN at the beginning, unless Goshid wanted to join. Goshid, you want to hang out? Oh, gee. Oh, are you guys like here for a quest? Hold on, let me ask. Hello. Oh, sorry, I'm stealthed. How rude. You guys here for a quest? We were checking out the Curious Portal up top. Oh, they can't. All these people can't be camping a world boss, can they? This is too many people to camp. Wait, is the world boss up? Yeah. Murag's telling me that's impossible. Yeah, Breezy, I got you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just, hold on. Let me see if I can... I gotta actually have my raid frames, like, up. Frames? Is it frames? Unit frames. I have... Listen, once you learn PFUI, you can do whatever you want. But if you don't remember what you did, it's hard. Hold on, wait. I think I know how to do this. Maybe I do PFUI and then I do unlock. And then I do raid cluster. No. Configure. Okay, this should bring me right to the stuff. Nope, this didn't. I couldn't tell you how I made everything disappear. I did it for the big celebration stream, and I don't I don't know how to bring it back. Hide group frames while in raid. I don't need that. Well, should I? Do we have a? How many people do we have? I'm going to convert to raid so I can see. Okay. Thank you, Manalisa. I did figure that out. In character mode on TRP? No, I don't even have TRP enabled right now. If I did, I would have another little menu up. You guys here for the nightmare? So, what is up with the nightmare? Oh, is that like for the Scepter quest? Oh, okay. Who are you killing? Maybe I can be of service. I am a noted, I don't know, Dragon Slayer?
If you go in raid frames, it's the very top, display frame, raid.
Okay, Murag just schooled me. Hold on. I go to raid frames. Wait, just unit frames. Raid.
Top display raid frames.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Wait. It didn't... I am in a raid. Okay, good. I can see raid frames. I still have party frames, so I'm not going to worry about it. Want to fuse? Yes. Okay, everyone who is in this raid, drop raid and then ask for an invite from them. Thank you. I can't wait to help. I do slay fish, but I'd like to think of dragons as fish of the sky. Xenia's... Oh, you're fine, Xenia. I should tell them. I am spec'd for rogue tanking right now. Let me know if you need something else. LOL. I do have a Thunder Fury, though, so... Smiley face. There. They know I'm legit now. Genki, I am over the moon about... No, not just orc rogues. All rogues getting axes is a win. Because it never made sense that we couldn't. We could throw axes, but we couldn't use them. If you have a chance later, if you want to watch earlier parts of the VOD, I actually went through all the high-level axes to kind of review what might be good. There's actually not a lot. There's really not a lot. Some of them might be good, but just from a lore and fantasy point of view, I think it's great. Okay, I should probably put on a poison, right? That would probably be helpful. Should it be deadly poison? Yeah, I mean, hold on. I have mind-numbing poison. I'll put that on because maybe they might have a spell? Wait, no, I'll just put in deadly poison. Let's not complicate it. Okay, is there a shaman? There is. Oh, geez, they're already fighting stuff. All right, time to get stealthy. No, I don't have my Turtle Wow threat on. Oh, that one did have a Fairy Fire spell. Okay, I am tanking X currently. So, you know, just, like, be advised. I can disarm, because I have riposte. Oh, what's this? Do I actually have exposed armor? Oh, jeez. I had switched target, didn't even know. Oh, they have like a real tank, so I'm not as needed here. That's okay though. I'm gonna try to get into the cleave range. I know that might cause parry haste, but if I can get a deflection on one of their things, I can disarm them, which is better. I think. Another asking who's on the quest. I'm not on the quest. I am just a rando. Neat. We are adventurers. We finished up some fishing, and now we're looking for a good fight. I don't know if they're gonna be able to implement that riddle. That is something that I would like them to do, though. Oh, we have a dead person. Manalisa, you're dead? Oh no. So, I see. Okay, we have a good priest. All right. Do I have anything else I should use? I guess not. I'm trying to tank X, but it ain't working. I think this bear has high threat. I don't even have my threat counter on. Turtle Wow threat show. There it is. Oh wait, I have threat. Guys, I'm doing it. Hey, I'm doing it. I don't think the priest knows I'm a tank though. I should have tanked. I should have let them know. Heal, please. Thanks. I moonlight as a tank. For real. I think they bought it. Okay. I should probably let the main tank know I'm going to try to get X. Hey, bear person, I will try to tank X. No. There it is. Now I got their attention. Ooh, and I got the disarm. Now you can't touch me. Would love the heal. Oh, heal? No. Oh, jeez. Why do they keep running? Are they supposed to run? Well, hey, you know, AF, Dragonovi's doing their best. Has anyone fought these before? Why are they tanking them, like, by running... Oh, I know why they're doing that, because their tank died. Ah. Okay, it's making more sense now. Thank you, Xenia. Xenia, don't tell anyone. Just listen. I know the tank might need heals, but what if you just healed me? Okay, here's the thing. I don't need heals all the time, but when I need them, I need them. That's how it is to heal a rogue tank. I promise it's not that tough. I have no idea if anyone is even watching the stream. I could be talking to no one. Thanks for hanging. Man, I have no idea how much that cost. How much should it cost? Ugh, 2 gold. Every time I die, thanks to Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. More like Blessed Blade of the I'm super expensive. I'll put on this. I think this might do me a little better. Do I still have the add-on? Hold on. Guru Blade made this add-on. It's called Avoidance. Show. Check out this. I have 62.74 total avoidance right now. And it does update. This is what we used to use when Flourish was not on a cooldown to like tank raid bosses and stuff. Okay, let's see. So you can see my avoidance right now, 77%, 97%, because I did pop Flourish. Now we're gaming. 82%, don't know why. But yeah, that's actually what you would use. And see, every time I pop my Ghostly Strike, my avoidance goes back to like 97. It's great. Unfortunately, I don't think I don't think the healers are on board with what I'm doing. That's okay, though. I don't even have threat poison, so... So, like, am I even really trying? But yeah, this is a little bit like what rogue tanking is like. Like, you can see I have a bunch of agility gear on, so I have 506 agility right now, and I have, like, no buffs. If I put on, I don't have any of my agility potions on me. Do I have any in the bank? No? Oh, I must have sent them to my other bank. That's okay, though. But yeah, that's a lot of what it used to look like. It was fun. Adrian Dimitri, you finally met me? Yes, Shadowwing. I have tier 3, however, when I'm tanking, a lot of tier 3 doesn't have agility on it. You actually want agility when you're doing rogue tanking right now. Well, let's take a potion for more damage threat. I mean, I could probably just, hold on, I can just buy a couple agility potions, I think. Greater, because they're not expensive. Greater agility? No, I need to spell great correct. Greater agility? Yeah, there, see this one. We'll just buy a couple of those. Easy. Put them in the mailbox. Look at that. Now. Boom. My avoidance went up by 2. It's great. Hold on, let me, hey, healers, for real, I'm gonna try tanking X. Just hit me with a heal if I get hit. Promise it doesn't happen often. I think people just realize that Vrogrags with them. It's kind of wild we have a level 38 undead priest in this area without pulling everything. I'll also put on poisons, because I should do that anyway. I don't think I have agitating poison, though, which is a shame. I don't have agitating poison. Maybe someone has agitating poison on the auction house? I doubt it, but I'll take a look. Agitating. Nope. What do you need to make it? It's like Maiden's Anguish. Maiden's Anguish? Nope. I can't make it right now. That's a shame. Camilla has Agi Poison. That doesn't exist, but I'm glad you think it does. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This will actually really help. Seriously, thank you. I'm going to put this on both my weapons. Just wait. You guys are going to see some real threat. Okay. I am on X. Promise. Probably should have a real tank on Skull, though. Okay, come on, come on. Let's do it, let's do it, let's go. Come on. Just give me some poison procs. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, Kemia's getting hit, but does have threat. If I had threat, I wouldn't be getting hit. See, there it is. Now we're talking. Look at that. 99% avoidance. Can't touch this. Also, remember to kick. Yeah, I think whoever Kemia is, who was very nice and did help me by getting me some of the the agitating poison. I think they're just set up for DPS. This is the problem with rogue tanking, actually. Your threat just isn't good enough. I could go for another tact where like I actually get the improved poisons, but let's see. Do I have 3 set tier 2? Blood Flame. Yep. Okay, so I do have 3 set tier 2, which helps my poison procs, but it's hard to keep up with like actual DPS. Oh, they're going to Feralis. Okay. I'm feeling a walk about. Gonna drop. Thanks for helping us explore the area. Also, again, Kemia, you're the real one. Thanks for the threat poisons. Wanted to show stream how rogue tanking works. Alright. Well, that was a fun little happenstance thing. I didn't think we'd have some funs here. Thank you, Corzi. I'm glad you enjoy the content. You see the in-game chatters? Well, yeah, you will. I keep the black part of this up just in case someone whispers something sensitive, or like if I have world chat open. Also, Kemia, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I will whisper you. Improved poisons is kinda the way to go for more threat. Sadly, means you miss ghostly strikes. Alright. I'm just gonna ride out of here, I think. Dominic, my fishing chats, I'm gonna be honest, are actually pretty aimless. We start by fishing, then I literally just wander around and talk about stuff. People that want to hang out, do so. You can be like this very bold level 38 priest who is with me right now, and is definitely not in a safe place. We are in Serendine, in Hinterlands. Hinterlands. Is this? Yeah. Very dangerous for them. Oh, well, thank you. Thanks. I appreciate you dropping by. I haven't lately. I've been streaming Voices of the Void, then recording the VOD, and then editing down for videos just to kind of mix things up. I've been doing I've been doing like more than a year of Turtle WoW content, so I kind of want to mix things up a little bit. But I am very active in the Turtle WoW community. Donker, I'm glad to hear that. By the way, when I'm done here, I am actually going to play on my Telebim character and do a little fishing over there. Oh, hey, cool. I forgot that I had notifications up. I see that Dominic subscribed. Thank you. Turtle WoW community? You're not familiar? Really? You're the second person in a week that has randomly watched my stuff but doesn't know about Turtle WoW, which I kind of found hard to believe. I'm not calling you a liar, but it's like I've done so much Turtle WoW content that when people don't know about Turtle WoW, I'm like, really? Yeah, the algorithm does do that. But Turtle WoW, for if you don't know, is a free-to-play private server. It's been around since 2018. It's vanilla plus. It's not nearly as crazy throw the whole kitchen sink as maybe Season of Discovery is, or like Ascension. I've been playing here since late 2021. Yeah, yeah, because that's when they had Nax releasing. Yeah. So I've been in the community for a while. There are some changes to classes and stuff like that, but it's not too crazy. But if you're ever interested, just do a Google search for Turtle WoW. Go to turtlewow.org. You can play on their server. It's definitely free to play. There, you can pay for some convenience items. If you're someone who feels like that's pay to win, and you're turned off by that, then it's probably not good. But you can't like buy gear, you can't buy gold. So I know for some people that's sort of a deal breaker, and I understand. But for me, as long as you're not buying gear, you're not buying gold, it's fine by me. Like, I have a portable auction house, and I have a portable bank. That's pretty much as far as you get. Yes, this is an escort mission. Wisebeard, our new mission is to get Kathia to the Hinterlands flight point for Horde. Can you buy a girlfriend? Like in... No. I can't, and that's because I have a wife, Murag, who's better at WoW than I am. Yep, Crustman, that's actually about what I was finding. It's either Hinterlands or it is Ashara is your best bet for Yellowtail. For those that don't know, Telebim is working on their war effort right now. They're a PvP server, and I've been encouraging them to start working on their war effort. I'm putting encouraging in quotation marks, because one day this week I kind of snapped on them. I actually had someone ask me, hey, have you heard if the team is going to autocomplete any goals? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, we have people that are holding on to materials, but we don't want to drop them if stuff gets auto-completed. And I'm like, why? If the war effort's going on, why would you hold on to any materials? I just, like, my mind broke. And ever since then, I've just been like, I've been all over Telebim being like, you guys gotta do this. I actually really have enjoyed the Telebim stuff I've played so far. The community, at least the Horde side, because I normally play Horde, they've been really chill, really fun to play with. Careful, there's a stealth wolf. We can't have Kathia die. And Dominic, if you don't know, my first claim to fame ever, before I became the news orc, was I did rogue tanking. I've tanked Patchwork, and I've tanked Resuvius and Naxxramas. How do you get the sergeant title? Kathia, you have to do a certain amount of PvP, and when you rank up, you get other titles. I don't think I have the... You can, if you don't like your title, I think you can go to the PvP vendor to have them like change it or hide it. I have the title Immortal or Stormwielder. They have hardcore on this server. They had hardcore on this server before even like Classic WoW. The Classic WoW team had it. So if one guild can do it in a day, I'm sure a server should be able to figure... Yeah, exactly, Hawaiian. Thank you. Well, Koi's, like, that's... I understand that's part of it, But you have to understand how crazy it is to me to have people ask me, hey, we have materials, but I don't know, should we give them? And the thing is I know for a fact that the team wants Telebim to progress, and if the AQ phase is too short, Telebim people will complain, and when that happens, I think my head will explode with frustration. Because I want the best for Telebim, but sometimes they do not know how to help themselves. And I mean that with love. Also, Kathia, by the way, I do want to say, for a leveler, you actually have a pretty good set going on. Robes do a lot of work for levelers. Yeah, Crustman, I think it's you need fishing 200 to catch Yellowtail. I don't know if you can confirm that, but when I go on, I'm level 20, but I think I can get up to level 200 fishing with like a lure. I think Vrograg's fishing's like 100 or something, because of course as I level, I always care about fishing. Oh, that's great, Kathy. I'm glad. That's very sweet. Careful, wolf. I know you can't see them as easily as I can. That warms my heart, Kathia. Yeah, and you know what? I know that I can often talk to all the sweaty players about really sweaty things, but I will say some of my favorite things is players like you who are just like, yeah, I took a break for a couple weeks and I just came back to play for a little bit. The casual player, I genuinely think has the best relationship with WoW. And what I mean by that is they get the best parts, which is like the fantasy, the immersion, the best parts of vanilla are like leveling and like slow progression and adventure. But when you're like some PvE Andy and you know all your BIS lists and all that stuff, it does strip the game a lot of the fun that's in it. Oh. Hello. I just got a hello from Shock Warden. If anyone doesn't know Shock Warden, that was the wonderful gentleman that set up the All Shaman Molten Core I took part in a couple months ago. Shock Warden is a friend of Turtle WoW News and just overall a good dude. Just a good dude. Wait, do I? Oh, I have a gun on. Wait, no, gun? What do I have? Yeah, I have gun. I have gun. This says, do I not have? Oh, I have arrows equipped. That would explain it. I'm over here trying to figure out how to shoot stuff. Crustman is talking about the war effort. Says the concern was mostly over going out and farming the mats for turn-ins. No one has Yellowtail or thick leather saved up, really. Yeah. Go farm the mats, then admins finish it because they weren't super clear on if they were going to assist. Yeah, I understand, like, so Crustman, from that point of view, I wouldn't even, I'd be like, yeah, I understand that point of view. But when I heard from people that said, we have the materials already, but we don't know if we should turn them in, that to me, that is what broke my brain. Because when I hear that, it's like, how can I profit the best off of this? And I'm like, the community suffers if you don't turn in what you have. Sweaty people who don't understand casual gameplay are annoying, and casuals who demand changes don't understand are annoying too. Yes, Terrible, with a surprisingly good take. Yeah, that's true. In many ways, I am jealous of the casual experience of WoW. Exactly, Crustman. if they have the materials, all they can do is possibly lose out on value for not turning them in. I don't think they have that amount, but I mean, the thing is too is that I still have contacts with some players that have stopped playing on Telebim but had already saved up some stuff for the war effort, and I've sent some messages out to be like, hey, you guys have mats you just want to drop? It was my Joker moment. Do you know anything about the raiding scene on Telebim? Well, Hawaiian, I can say that they are progressed as far as BWL and Emerald Sanctum, which is a new raid. They are doing the war effort right now. It's a much smaller server, somewhere between like, depending on what time zone you are, you might get somewhere between like 100 to like 300 people on. The people that are in the community are definitely there because they want to be a part of Telebim, so it's a good time to join if you really want to feel what it's like to be part of like a smaller WoW community. And most of them are good guys, honestly. Good guys and gals over on Telebim. At least on Horde side, I don't know what it's like. As far as Alliance, I haven't played on that side. I haven't listened to their world chat for hours, but yeah, Crustman right here. He's I'm assuming you're on Telebim. You seem to know a lot about the war effort, so definitely if you have any questions for them, let them know. Yes, it is a PvP server too. That is important to note. I in my talking to Telebim people, I heard an interesting proposal. I would love to know if anyone in chat has any particular views on it. Someone was talking about how on PvP servers, if you're in a non-contested territory, like a city or like a starting town or certain areas, if you're there long enough, you won't be flagged. You only get flagged when you're in a contested zone. And evidently that has led to some players having this thing happen where if they go to raid a city, there can be players healing NPCs and not flagging themselves. And that makes raiding cities very difficult and sometimes not interactive. So I know some people in Telebim wanted that changed. Yeah. What side is Skeleton on, Crustman? That's a question I remember to ask now. I remember I ran into a gnome one time. I was like doing something in Solithus, so someone summoned me out there. I wasn't leveling there, but I ran into a gnome and I tried saying hi, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't say anything. Thank you for helping escort this lost soul. I will get them back onto a boat to safety from here. Okay, Kathia, follow me. Follow me, little one. Oh, exactly, Terrible. I just, I don't know if that's actually like a vanilla thing, if that's how it was, or, and that's the only reason I bring that up is because sometimes the developers are oddly strict about what they believe, like, is like a sacred calf and they won't change, and things that they are willing to change. Yeah, by the way, Wisebeard's a real one. Wisebeard's shown up for my streams, helped out. It's a good dude. Always willing to RP. Always willing to play along, have fun on adventures. Right now, the mission is to get Kathia to safety. I'm doing an escort mission. You know, Crustman, you say Telebim is desperate for warlocks on Alliance side. Nordinar is desperate for warlocks. In many of the, I think, according to the demographics, like the last numbers I've seen, Warlocks are either the least played class or tied for least played with Shaman, believe it or not. And Shaman's locked to one faction, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I see, terrible. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Hold on. This boat will take us to Orgrimmar. Come along. I couldn't have timed that boat better, by the way. By the way, this is custom content. This isn't in vanilla, of course. This boat will take you to the Goblin Town, next to Orgrimmar. Crustman says, I don't think there's a lot of drive to play WL. What is WL? Warlords of Draenor? No, Kathy, it's not Ratchet. It's, no. It's the Durotar Labor Union City. What is the name of that city? Do you remember, Murag?
What?
The Durotar Labor...
Sparkwater Port?
Thank you. Sparkwater Port. It is safe for the likes of you. Yeah, terrible. I think that might be some of the issue. I hope they take a closer look at that when faction boss loot is dropped, because it does feel unfair if your horde, you go raid, Darnassus, and there's a paladin healing guard NPCs, and you can't attack the paladins. I wouldn't lead you astray. Remember to be careful. The world is full of dangers. I made it. Nice. All right. So I've been streaming for like 2.5. I think I'm gonna unplug for a little bit, and then I'll go play on Telebim, not on stream, because I don't want to encourage stream sniping. Although I know there's plenty of people on the server that probably wouldn't do it, and there's probably horde people that would defend against it. I just, I like being on Telebim and just having a chill time. I'm not in any guilds. I just like leveling and vibing out. So I'll probably do that next. But for anyone who's watched, thank you for watching. I'm sorry that this wasn't streamed during my normal time for all the EU homies out there. I know it's super late for you. I'm glad I got to stream for some of the US people who this is, not in the morning on a weekend. So that's probably nice for you. This upcoming week, I should again have more Turtle WoW news for the radio. I update those on Monday. They should be, the ones from this week should still be on the radio, so if you haven't listened to the Turtle WoW radio, and you're watching stream, just as a reminder, there is a little Everlook Broadcasting Co. button near your mini-map. Even if you have the default UI, you'll still have a little button like this. It looks like a little boombox. You click that, and then you want to click, I think it's LG87. One of these works. The other one is like a joke or a meme. I don't know. And then you can change the volume right there. Boom. And then, yeah, you can listen to the live radio. So this Monday, I'll be updating the news. There should be a new video early this week that is a condensing of the 4 or 5 hours of stream I had this week for Voices of the Void. I've been having a lot of fun there. It's very spooky. Lots of immersion, lots of fun roleplay I've been doing on there too. So hopefully you catch that. I believe next Saturday I should also not have any schedule conflicts, so I probably will have a more normal Fish and Chat stream next Saturday. Not this upcoming one, but the one after. So, lots to look forward to. If you're on Telebim, good luck with the war effort. If you're on Northernar, just vibe. Hope you have a good weekend. I hope everyone has a good week regardless. So yeah, with that, Lizzie Babs, I should be bringing out the 3rd episode on Monday or Tuesday. Depends on how editing goes. I have a busy weekend, so we'll see, but probably Monday. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that, with just me leading this this low-level priest back to Orgrimmar. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, whatever you're playing, whether it's WoW, whether it's something else, remember, video games are there to have fun, so remember to have fun. Be safe, and as always, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.